Slaptail Squad, assemble.
If you are listening to this, you are a member of the great Slaptail Nation, my nation. And who am I? I'm the Beaveman, master of the universe, creator of all things great and small, and Lord High Commander of the great Slaptail Nation Army. And with me today, looking a little bit tired, possibly a little disheveled, but still with us live from the Uniden, is my number 2, the Rons.
Hey, Beaveman! First of all, Happy New Year and Merry Christmas and Happy Kwanzaa and all the other fun stuff.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Thank you to my adoring audience, all one of you.
Thank you. Rons, what have you been up to?
No, not much lately, just work.
I see you missed a day at the dojo this week. You weren't there. What was going on there?
I decided to take a step back.
Also with us today, live from the Beaver's Den, is the Swan. Say hello, Swan.
Hello, Swan.
Amazing that Ron's, he dutifully falls for it every week, and I appreciate
every
that.
week.
He does.
He's pretty good at that.
And you got a new mic, I see.
No, just change positions.
I guess you're used to that. Hello!
No, not used to that.
Biggest ass you've ever seen.
Harsh.
Anyway, now that we're all together, absent Tremonde, of course, who is enjoying some much needed. That guy goes on more vacations than I've had in the past 15 years.
True. It's true.
It must be nice.
Vacations must be nice. Can I say something? Do you know when you do the intro and you're like, my nation, I always think under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Like, that's what comes in my head as soon as you say that.
Mm-hmm. You know what comes in Ron's head?
What?
Would you believe I love eating ass? I would eat ass all day, every day if I could.
There you go.
It's true. It's like a side dish,
true.
a main dish, an
what?
appetizer.
Is it?
Just all around ass.
Yeah, that's all right, though.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's all right. Ron's disturbing thing happened the other day. Not the other day, but you were not, you don't know this. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it. But on Christmas Eve, the boy was here visiting. And he typically he streams on Twitch. He's a Twitch streamer 2 to 3 times a week. And he was here on a day that he would normally stream. So I said, well, you can always use our equipment and, you can stream here. So he brought, like his laptop and didn't have too much stuff, just that. And we set up everything. I set up the green screen and all that fun stuff for him so that he could do his Twitch stream. And in his infinite wisdom, he decided to have me on his talk show, which is known as Rim to Rim, and is typically on Friday evenings.
And you can find him at Skylar Creates on Twitch.
Biggest ass you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually Swan's intro.
That's my intro.
That's your intro.
Biggest ass you've ever seen.
Anyway.
Good ass. I'll take it.
Anyway, so he asked me if I would be on his show, full well knowing
it was probably a mistake.
It was probably a mistake, but I was on it anyway. And it went pretty well until
what?
Until we took callers.
Oh, you took callers.
You never know what you're going to get when you get a caller on a live stream, right?
From what the B-Man has told me on his live streaming, his wisdom app, I would suspect it was self-promotion, people coming in.
Well, that is what they do on the wisdom app.
Self-promotion. This one was self-promotion too, but it was just all bad.
Yeah, the nice thing on the wisdom app though is you can set your time for how long people can talk to you.
Like, running out of time.
And you could really hang up on them. And who's going to care? Nobody's going to care. But because he's live streaming, I didn't have control of anything. I was on my side of the desk. He was on the side of the desk where Swan is sitting right now. So he had control of everything. The only thing I had control of was my mic and, of course, my mix board that I used also. And everything was going okay until we started to. My son asked a question. He wanted me to tell the story of my father's circumcision. You don't have anything to say about that?
All right. So why did he want you to tell you the story there?
Well, because my father's circumcision happened later on in life. And
All right.
unfortunately,
Ron's is like, what is a circumcision?
Ron,
I
do you know
feel
what a
No,
he's
I know what a
confused little bit.
circumcision is. And we're just gonna touch the tip of this subject right here. So continue.
hi-yo.
Hi, yo.
Hi-yo.
Oh, anyway, so that brings up a whole lot of questions, but I will let you continue.
No, please
with
go.
the story.
No, start asking questions. This is a podcast. It's a give and take.
So one of the questions is, and I don't think you've mentioned it. If I have, please forgive me. You can yell at me for forgetting. Why did your father get a circumcision late in life?
Well, I think it's interesting that you think that I've already told you the story, and then you're like, I had to refresh your memory.
We did have this conversation on a podcast about how our children brought it up at dinner.
Right, but it was a surgical emergency, Ron, basically.
Okay.
So
okay.
my father he doesn't listen to this podcast, so it'll be fine.
It is just his friends
It's
do.
fine.
It's okay.
No, it's fine. He had a surgical emergency. Basically, he called me when I was working. This was when I was a trauma nurse, and he's like, "Hey, I can't pee." I'm like, "All right, well, what do you mean you can't pee?" He's like, "Well, I can't get my foreskin back, and I can't pee. Like the hole is totally closed." So in other words, he couldn't retract his foreskin over his penis to pee. And when that happens, when it's too small, when that opening gets really small and you can't retract your foreskin anymore, it's called phimosis.
Okay.
So I didn't realize it was as bad as it really was. But I said, get your butt in here, because if you can't pee, then, you could cause some neurogenic problems with your bladder. You could have problems with your kidneys. You could go into renal failure, all these things. So he came in. Long story short, it was really bad. We had to have a urologist come and take a look at him. He ended up having to go to surgery and get kind of like basically they do like a little V cut just to cut the foreskin itself, make it into like a little V shape just so they can pee.
Like
And get
slicing it
Okay.
open like a hot dog
Yeah,
that
slap
splits
it-
in the microwave.
Exactly, like a hot dog that splits in the microwave. Exactly. And I
All
don't know if he ever went back to get the full circumcision or not, or if they just did that little V cut thing.
I don't think I want to know.
Regardless, my children asked about this at dinner one day, which was fine. It was just us four. So anyway, so my son wanted me to recount the story on his live stream. So I started telling the story, and all of a sudden we get a caller, like right away. So I'm like, oh, it's going to be some sort of funny, goofy call. But it wasn't.
He was super serious too.
Instead, it was a call from someone who is an activist who protests male circumcisions all around the country. And he talked for about a half an hour about the evils of circumcision.
Although he was circumcised.
Well,
And now he
again,
regrets that. But he had no choice to have it done.
right.
I just don't understand that whole entire concept right there.
Okay.
Because
So I get why your dad had it, a medical emergency and all that, and I understand that part. I may not understand the terminology, but I understand the medical emergency. Why was this asshole against a medical emergency that could save somebody's life?
he's not just protesting it for that. He's protesting it in general, saying that they shouldn't have it done because they do it to babies against their will and it takes away vital parts of their
10 million
body,
nerve endings.
that you don't know, and you never have a good orgasm because you don't have your foreskin. However, dude has never had an orgasm with a foreskin, so how does he know what he's missing? Number one.
All right. I realize I podcast from the basement. I do.
Uh-huh.
We
And
also
I
podcast.
realize-
We also podcast from the basement.
I realize that. And I am married. We all know this. Little Powder done it. And you are, of course, married. Is this guy ever seen a woman?
He's married and he has a child, so clearly he's used his penis before.
Is this
But he's saying
from-
that it could have been better had he not had a circumcision.
No, but this is what
Better,
happened
better.
after his circumcision when he was a baby. This is what the doctor said.
Doctor said he'd never seen a gash quite that size.
It's true.
I was going to say this guy's
Doctor said
probably
he'd never
married.
seen a gash quite that size.
This guy's probably married to some woman from Canada that we'll never meet that he met at band camp during the summer.
He had a child too, so we know that it worked
Oh yeah, yeah.
to some point.
So he says that
The
he met at
child,
band camp
the
from
child
summer.
was actually the one who brought the father onto the stream, like to talk. So we know that this is a true story. But he was super passionate about not having circumcision.
You know what else he's passionate about?
I had 2 in the pink and 1 in the stink.
There you go.
Probably. Well, he was passionate about regrowing his foreskin.
I would like
Do
to
you
address
think-
something that Ron said before you.
Okay, wait, yeah. Then we'll go into that. Go ahead.
Yes, Ron, I agree with you. In a medical emergency, if you have not been circumcised, it's probably necessary. But here's the thing: he wanted to argue with me that there is no medical emergency. That you could go on Amazon and buy a kit to stretch that opening back up again so that you could use it. I'm like, I don't
to
think you
regrow
know.
your foreskin. That's what he said.
That's not what he was talking about, Swan. Shut the fuck up and listen.
I know what you're talking
Why
about
don't
now.
you stop looking at your phone and actually pay attention to what I'm saying instead of just deciding that you're going to talk?
I like to interrupt, but now I know what you're
not
gonna,
what
now I know what you're gonna say to open.
What was I talking about?
You were
I was
talking about the
a
medical
medical emergency,
emergency,
wasn't
yes.
I? And that's when he brought up you could go on Amazon to get a kit to widen that opening. You're talking about something totally different because you're not paying attention.
I am paying attention.
Then why did you interrupt me to say the wrong
I
thing?
was just ahead of myself.
Shut the fuck up for once.
No.
Biggest ass you've ever seen.
I don't hear your complaints about my ass. But okay.
Biggest ass you've ever seen.
It's true.
All right.
Anyways.
Anyway,
So
it was a medical emergency. My point to him was, and this is why he wasn't listening, he just kept talking. I'm like, no, it was a medical emergency. You can't wait 2 days. Even if it's next day shipping from Amazon, you can't wait 2 days when it's a medical emergency. But yet he still wanted to argue about it.
He did. He was so passionate about
Oh, are
his
you sure,
argument.
Swan?
He was.
You don't want to jump to some other subject and act like it was the one we were talking about right now?
I might. If you would just let me continue.
Biggest ass you've ever seen.
a medical emergency. Well, next time I go to the doctor, if I go to the doctor for anything, and I'm going to ask, could I have done this at home if I ordered something from Amazon? They're probably going to say, you need to go away. That is probably the biggest load of bullshit I have ever heard.
Okay, it's
This
better.
guy was a complete tool.
Oh, he was a complete tool, but he was also one of those people who was nonstop talking. So I would just throw in some jabs here and there, and he would laugh at the jabs or not understand them, but he would just keep talking. The other thing that he wanted to say was that here's a medical fallacy, is that it's an unnecessary procedure. Okay, for one thing, I kind of agree. Is it necessary? Is it absolutely necessary? No. Do you have to have it done? No. Does it matter if you don't have it done? No. If you take care of it, you don't have to have it done. It's fine.
Is it aesthetically pleasing? I feel like yes.
From all the penises I myself have seen, to all the penises I've known before.
To all the penises you've loved before?
No.
No.
To all the penises that have tried to nuzzle my face, but no.
all the ones that you've had intimate contact with.
Yeah, I mean,
Personal
any
contact.
personal contact. If you're not into that sort of thing like me, yeah, that's any contact is just kind of, it's not welcome, but it does happen, unfortunately. When you are a male nurse in a trauma center,
Right.
and you go on, yes. But no, is it aesthetically pleasing? I would say that yes, most of the time it is more aesthetically pleasing, but I'm not into that sort of thing, so it doesn't matter.
All right, but did this guy even consider your background in the medical field
No.
whatsoever?
No, he never
What
even
the
listened to it.
fuck?
He didn't. He just wanted to push his agenda of regrowing his foreskin.
You thought
Do
you'd
you-
close your eyes and feel a big fat wad slide across your palm?
That's what he
Exactly,
wanted.
that's what he wanted. He wanted to just justify playing with his junk all the time.
Yeah, basically.
So do you think you can regrow your foreskin, Ron? Just think about those words for a moment. Can you regrow it?
I don't think you can. In fact, all medical advice or
Okay, okay. So you have foreskin, the extra skin that covers the glands of your penis. They cut it off. Can you grow it back? I mean, like, if you cut your fucking finger off, could you grow it back? No, same concept. You can't grow. No.
Hold up.
Oh God, here goes.
No, your DNA. What I read a study on this a long time ago, and it very, very. No, I heard something that.
I heard something. Oh, wait, no, I heard something. Which is it?
Yeah, I heard it was a long time ago that if you cut like a small tip off your finger or something, you can't grow it back up to a certain age.
Well, I mean,
Right.
your skin will grow back and it'll fill in, but if you cut it far enough, you're going to have a divoted scar or a lack of skin there or a nub where said finger should have been, and it is not going to grow back. It's not like a worm where you cut it in half and it's going to regrow that part.
Yeah, it's not going to
So
grow
you're
back to
not
that
gonna have
exact same size.
Two in the pink, one in the stink.
Right.
Right, exactly.
Might be-
So you're not going to regrow your fucking foreskin back. No matter how hard he yanks, tugs, uses his Amazon medical device that he ordered to stretch and regrow his foreskin, all he's doing is stretching out the skin that is there. Just like if you gain 50 pounds, you're going to stretch your skin out and he's going to have floppy dick skin. That is the same
Would that be a
pre-cut
way
skin.
to grow it back then?
No,
But it's not
but it's
growing
not
it-
growing
it's
it
not growing it
back.
back,
It's
though.
just growing back skin. It's growing or stretching the skin that you have or growing the
It's
skin.
literally the same. It's basically the same concept of gauging any part of your body. Like if you gauge your ears, you're just stretching that skin. All he's doing is stretching skin. That's not the foreskin. The foreskin's already gone. You can't grow it back.
Or
What
you-
Swan is saying is all you're doing is stretching the skin you have.
yeah,
Like, you could do it. You could do that with any body part where you have skin. You could stretch it and let you and keep stretching it and leave it stretched out.
like you have a mastectomy because you had breast cancer and they lop off your boob. You have no nipple and no boob, but they put an
And no mammary.
expander and no mammary glands and everything in there. But they put an expander in there to stretch that skin to make it look like you have a boob again, and they can put an implant in there. But you still don't have your areola and your nipple and all of those glands that you had there. They're not growing back. You're just stretching the skin. So in the same token, he is not growing his foreskin. He is just stretching that skin. And so he's going to have a saggy, floppy penis is what he's going to have. And he thinks he's going to have way better sex because of that. And that's his freaking soapbox that he's standing on to advocate for and so passionate about that he's going to go protests and rallies.
Can you like take
And-
it one step at a time, Swan? You just like want to.
I have a
Why
rambling
do you want to
mind.
just jump all the way through? Like there's a progression of how you do things.
Okay, well,
in a
we'll
podcast.
progress.
Not like let's
just go ahead and progress. Just get on.
No,
it.
you want to jump from A to freaking Z immediately instead of like there's like. Can you explain anything without just doing that?
I got ADD. Okay, well, go ahead
Actually,
and explain
the,
then.
you know,
I thought
Biggest ass you've ever seen.
It's true.
ever seen.
Cute face though. Big
Cute face.
ass. Big ass and cute face. I mean, that works. It works for me. Got me the Beaveman.
Why was this guy so passionate about it then?
Oh, I mean, I have lots of theories on that one.
Because he got it's a small penis.
Oh, wait a minute, you guys. I totally forgot this.
Uh-huh.
Why was he like that? Oh man. You know what? If I would have forgot this, totally, I would have been very unhappy.
Uh-huh.
Ron, this inspired me
Yes.
quite a bit. This guy probably stopped eating bananas because he couldn't stop weeping every time he peeled one.
Okay.
No, it inspired me. I'm like, I could do a good 2-minute bit on this guy.
I think it's just because he got 3 inches and he's thinking they cut off like 3 of it. But he was just really born with 3 inches and he's sad about it. He got a little pinky for a penis.
This guy was so upset about the loss of his foreskin that he brought it up to his prom date at the dinner before the dance, and she dumped him for the circumcised lacrosse team mascot at the Catholic school.
Hi-yo.
That's a bit complicated on the words, but yeah, I get that one. I like that one.
Ron's just like, that's a lot of English right
That
there.
is a lot of words for a punchline.
Can you like say it
No,
again?
I got
Just
2
say-
minutes.
Just
Oh
do
my
it again.
gosh.
Just do it
Okay,
again.
all right,
Go
all right.
for it. Go
Go
for
again?
it.
All
Yeah,
right.
we want it again.
Should I get the drum beat up? Hold on. Let me get the drum beat. Let me make sure I got the. Okay, I do. All right. Where am I?
All right, here we
Oh,
go.
which one am I at? Which one? I have a
one about
bunch.
the cat. I want the prom
Okay.
date again. Do the prom date one again.
This guy's so upset about the loss of his foreskin that he brought out up to his prom date at the dinner before the dance, and she dumped him for the circumcised lacrosse team mascot at the Catholic school.
That's a lot. That's like a lot. The
That is a lot to
circumcised
unpack right there. It's something he
Catholic
won't be
school
doing.
mascot. Like, that's just a lot. That's just too much.
How about this one? Fuck that guy. I bet he lights a candle at church every week in memory of his foreskin.
Probably.
That's my
For
favorite.
the ones I've lost.
That was my favorite. How about this one? Here we go. He's so fixated on the loss of his foreskin that he missed the birth of his child because he was at the American Legion making an ass of himself, trying to convince a Vietnam vet that the trauma he experienced in his bush was equivalent to the trauma that the vet experienced fighting Charlie in the actual bush.
No. No.
Long worded again, but I get
It's
it.
a joke. Why you can't just have a 2-line joke, Rons?
All right.
Ron's is like hedge clippers.
Here's
Ron's
a
hedge clippers.
here's a short one.
Yeah.
Ron. Here's a short one for you, Ron.
All right.
These make me laugh.
Oh, I got one for Ron's. Left-handed scissors.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
No.
I thought it was funny.
Okay.
Okay.
Your mom and dad looked at each other without saying anything for a real long time when you said you slammed one in your sister's box.
True.
All right.
True. Okay.
See if I can do this without laughing. He's so obsessed with his foreskin that he cries every time he sees someone enjoy a bag of Funyuns.
That's gross. And it probably smells like a Funyun too. Nasty. It's gross.
Oh, that one's great.
That one's nasty.
That one's great.
And you know you can just smell Funyuns right now, can't you? Like, what?
How about this one? This is the kind of guy who does his best to hold his farts in because he has abandonment issues.
Yeah, I like that one.
Every time he passes gas, an angel dies. Oh, I love it when I crack myself up.
I feel like you're kind of fucking warped. What the fuck is wrong with you?
This guy still holds the grudge because his mother didn't breastfeed him.
Probably. It's true.
Didn't get enough hugs as a child. Fuck that guy.
Fuck him.
I bet he lights a candle at church every week in memory
And
of his
he's probably just mad because he saw his dad's penis as he was a child and his dad wasn't circumcised.
I bet he's still mad that someone bought his mom's cake at the Cub Scout cake raffle because he wanted to eat the pretty, pretty flowers on top.
Probably.
Roz, are you getting these or what? Come on.
I am. I'm still trying to figure out why
know
the
what a
hell the
foreskin
guy's
is?
so passionate about this.
Oh,
Ron's
we
is
can
just
tell you
mad
why.
that
I
you're
can tell you why.
stifling his comedy.
No,
I wrote this. I literally wrote these in about 3 minutes, so you should be impressed. Let me read this one
Why,
again.
Ron's? Why?
Let me read this one again.
Okay.
He's so obsessed with his foreskin that he cries every time he sees someone enjoy a bag of Funyuns.
So that one, I got to figure out why it's funny. I'm
You don't know what Funyuns are? They're like fucking dried up, shriveled, nasty, stinky. When you cut off
I
the
know. I like
foreskin,
ring of
Funyuns,
skin.
actually.
when the foreskin
foreskin
is
is a
cut
ring of
off, it's
skin
like
when
a
it's
ring
cut
of
off.
skin and it's cut
Oh.
off and it dries up and shrivels off and looks like
I
a
had
fucking
no idea.
Funyun.
I had no idea that that's what they look like. Because
I
I
mean-
don't have a fucking foreskin.
Do you
You-
do you miss yours?
Yeah.
Do you think about it every day and cry about it because you're missing it? Are you
No,
sad because you don't have one?
No. But I know probably
you
a couple
want
of my
yours
ex-girlfriends. Why? I mean, what am I going to do?
Exactly. Then what's the fucking point?
Am I going to give it to somebody as an engagement ring?
You might be able to.
Do you remember that scene in what was it, Meet the Fockers? Where his mom had saved his little foreskin and it went like
Ew.
flew into like the fondue dip or something like that.
Gross. Yeah, I don't remember what movie that's from, but yeah, you're probably right.
Pretty sure it's Meet the Fockers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blech.
Really?
Like, why do people save that shit? Like, who saves their child's belly button?
Bris. It's from a bris. Maybe that's a tradition among people when they have a bris. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Why do people save curls? I mean, that's a little bit different. You know, your kid's first haircut. That's far different than their
I mean,
first penis cut.
yeah, I don't
Their
want.
first and only penis cut. Hopefully.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, Swan's going to take it away now because she's super passionate about acting.
No, I don't want to anymore. What do you want me to take it away about?
You were mentioning why this guy is so passionate.
Well, because he wants to protest that, and he's passionate about it, and that's his soapbox passion project. Like, if you were gonna pick one thing that you wanted to like go big on and make your project to spread knowledge about and awareness and have passion for something, would that be it, Ron's? Like, I feel like there's far more things to in this world, problems and things that you could be passionate about fixing than male circumcision.
I mean, yeah, let's talk about if you're going to go that route, then what about the mutilation of women genitalia through religious rites?
Yeah, and that's actually not just skin, right? That's their actual clitoris that they're mutilating.
So I would figure that would probably be more on the topic of,
a bigger issue, like
a bigger
that,
issue,
yeah.
Yeah, a bigger issue than just a little bit of skin that's taken off for aesthetic reasons that you don't have to do.
Well, there are also religious implications behind it as well.
Well, if that is,
right?
but if that is
But
your real,
I
but I'm
won't get
saying
into that. But it doesn't harm the man. And I mean, I've honestly having it done probably early on in my life, it's never affected me one way or another.
And you don't traumatically remember it, like you're not scarred for life by it.
No.
Yeah, exactly. No. Well, this dude is apparently. He's got some mommy childhood regression issues or something. I'm just telling you, he has like a 2-inch penis, and he's just trying to justify it.
I know there are some women or who've had their won't have their their sons circumcised for whatever reason they believe, and that's that. I mean, I get it,
and that's fine, and that's their personal preference. But this dude is already had his done, and he's like crying about it and making a big deal about it.
Yeah, there's not anything you can do about it. That's the thing. There's nothing you can do about it. What are you going to do? Blame your parents for making a choice? And then he did the same thing to his kid. His kid's circumcised, and that was our point. I'm like, well, you had a choice. And he tried to say that it was a high pressure sale, and that's why he did it, because he totally
what?
Because
what did they guarantee him a longer, smoother penis on the sale or something?
No, he says that they pressured him and his wife into having a circumcision for his son because the doctor wasn't going to be there later and they had to have it done. And I'm like, no, that's not what they did. They gave you a choice, and you took the choice. You took that option. You could have waited. Nobody was doing a high pressure sale on you. They didn't try to say, oh, they do it because they make so much money doing a circumcision, and it's a minor procedure and it's really fast and they make a lot of money. And then they sell that circumcision.
Yeah, the skin. They sell
that for biological, purposes to these different companies. And that's like, this is a billions of dollar market. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, you have been drinking way too much Kool-Aid. Like, seriously.
I feel like if they were going to take your biohazard, don't you have to sign some kind of release and shit for that? I mean, if you want to donate your parts for science or any other whatever, they can't just legally take your parts.
Yeah, they asked you. So, didn't they ask you about your placenta?
If you want to sign your placenta away for medical research or for, whatever, pharmaceutical or whatever, you can do that.
I'm quite sure he's getting erroneous information, most likely not even from this country. Yeah, because that shit gets, back in the day, it just got incinerated. Now they put it in medical waste bags and they just throw it away. Where it gets disposed of.
So, what was the reason behind his son getting a circumcision?
Because they high pressure. He got forced
I
into
get the high pressure thing. I don't believe that.
We don't believe it either. He's just a jackass who clearly has issues with his own penis and wants to spread the word on others. He's spending 4 hours a day stretching his shit out, and he just wants an excuse to tug on his junk.
Well, here's the point.
I need an excuse?
No,
you don't. Tug on your junk,
but
if
you
don't
want need to make it stretchy. You don't need to make the skin on your penis stretchy. That doesn't help. No,
that just gives you a saggy penis. It's going to stretch out your skin and probably make it worse for your
What did he say
sensation.
though? Something about having like he wanted to have his nutsack altered so that he can have more skin on his penis to make his foreskin, and was trying to ask me what my advice on that is. I'm like, dude, you're fucking nuts.
I'm like, so you want plastic surgery
No,
on
that's
your
funny.
penis? He wanted.
No,
That's what
no.
I was trying to ask. He wants plastic surgery on his penis to make his penis longer. He wanted to
No,
like.
just the way the Beaveman came across. So you want more skin on your sack? That's fucking nuts. That is a punchline.
Hi-yo, fucking nuts.
Hey-yo.
Get it? Yeah,
Yeah, we get it.
we get it. Yeah.
But no, he was saying a procedure to take somehow his skin from his nuts to elongate the skin on his penis to make a foreskin.
Yeah. So he's okay with plastic surgery and mutilating his penis that way, but not having a circumcision.
But again, it wouldn't be a foreskin. I said, what did I say to him? Something like, why don't you just take a cold cut and wrap it around your...
Something. A piece of salami on your penis.
So why? I'm pretty sure there could be a procedure out there for some whack doctor. Why
Sure.
doesn't he do that?
I mean,
He
it's not-
wants
you don't even
to,
have to
but-
be a whack doctor. I mean, they know that there's niche fields that people want all kinds of stupid shit, like, implanting stuff underneath your skin. And there's plenty of, they'll do that shit. There's plenty of people who will do it. They know that body modification, that's not illegal.
No, there's
mean,
lots
yeah,
of plastic surgery. You can get your vagina tightened and your lips shortened and your penis. You can have your testicles lifted and they'll do whatever they want to, whatever you want for them if they're going to make $1 off of it.
Yeah, and I mean, the nice thing is for them anyways, none of it's covered by insurance. It's all cash pay.
So I guess he could have got a sock and just kind of cut the edge off and put the sock over his dick and then just call that a foreskin.
Well, that's why I said he could use a cold cut. I'm like, just wrap your penis with a cold cut. Just change it every day. It's still basically kind of you can find the right shade. I mean, there's turkey, there's chicken, there's beef, there's all you gotta do is get the right shade, man.
Any reason you want to become a vegetarian now? Here it is, folks.
Yeah, and then you got to switch it out every few days.
I would do it every day.
Yeah, you don't
want-
And did he realize that foreskins are interchangeable? You go out to the foreskin market and switch it up a bit.
Yeah, he probably just wants a different colored one. He's the kind of guy,
Oh god.
because you could tell, I'm like, just from this conversation, I even said to him, like, this sounds like a white privilege problem to me. It sounds like a male white privilege problem.
Let's go back to like what was he saying? How he was in law school, but he had
Anyway,
to drop out.
I'm not done with my fucking
Okay, sorry.
thought,
Go ahead.
because I said this is the kind of guy.
All right. Go
And
ahead.
you're immediately interrupting. Who would get a black foreskin so that he could say that he's oppressed in some way,
Probably.
just so that he could say that he can relate to black people. That's what he would do. Now you can say something. Now that I'm done with my
I don't
thought.
want to
Thank you
anymore.
for letting me complete my thoughts, Juan.
I don't want to anymore.
Can you imagine a fist inside your gash?
No, I can't. I don't want to anymore.
Right now, you may go, Swan.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say anymore.
You know,
No, you took away my fun.
talking about white privilege.
Yeah, he's definitely white privileged.
You were talking about law school.
I know.
Well, I
I
wouldn't
don't.
say that's white privilege, because if that were true, that would
just-
probably.
Okay, go ahead, Ron.
No,
Well,
go
okay,
ahead.
But if you look at, okay, Rons, I didn't want to do this to you, but it's because it's fucking disturbing, but I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. And for those of you at home,
Google this yourself.
Google this yourself. Share screen, and
I still
does.
see this one.
because I haven't shared it yet.
Not shared, Ron.
Here we go. Rons, can you see the screen now?
Yeah, I can.
Here's the
Genital
signs that they hold
mutilation
up.
Survivor.
Here's the outfits they wear. Let me describe them to you.
What the fuck?
To the great Slaptail Nation. These
That looks
people
like he got shot in the crotch.
are
Or
wearing.
he's on his period and he forgot a tampon.
Well, if you're going to say that, why don't you describe it for everybody?
Okay, so they're wearing, it looks like all white outfits with it looks like a cowboy hat or whatever, but in the middle of their pants where their zipper is, there's a big red spot, like some person's on their period and forgot a tampon. And it says, "End male genitalia mutilation." And these there's a woman it looks like, or a gay person. I don't care if they're gay or straight. It doesn't bother me, but it looks like.
Hey, calm down there, killer. Calm down.
Right, and then there's looks like a guy with a baseball hat that should be at a frat bar trying to drink his way into something.
What
That's
is
just
that?
no, you're just an idiot.
Yeah,
You're just
but
a
that's what I'm
fucking
saying.
idiot.
But my point to him was this, and they call themselves the Bloodstained Men. Get over yourself. You are protesting something that is a choice, but you could find something more important to protest. How about, let's say, women's rights? Look at his arm. His tattoo says "Victim of Circumcision."
Are you kidding? That's fucking lame.
So if you guys want to check this out, these are called the Bloodstained Men. I don't know that this is like a super reputable site that I'm on here. It's called the Pantograph, but it's pantograph.com. And basically just look up protesters of male circumcision, the Bloodstained Men. This is so fucking ridiculous. My point to him was, don't you think that maybe you could protest something more important, like maybe, I don't know, giving women their right to abortion? And his answer was basically that, that's basically what I'm doing. It's all about choice. See, we're doing our part so that everybody has body autonomy. No, you're really not. You're really just talking about something that you can easily say no to. But you're not.
Yeah, no, he's obviously an idiot. And like you said, white privileged and just stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
I am
I guess
on
I would
their
say,
site right now, and I'll tell you what. These look like a bunch of.
Tell the listeners what the site is then.
It's called Bloodstained Men, and it looks like a bad ZZ Top review. They look like an old punk band. They just never went out of style.
Well, they're very far out of style.
I listen to a lot of genre music. However, wow, the gas prices are pretty low when this picture was taken. Yeah, this looks like it's some of the music I would listen to. This looks like an album cover of some of the music I would listen to.
So now, do you think if a group of women went out wearing those outfits with blood stain on their crotch to protest...
There is a woman in the...
Well, I'm just saying, not talking about male circumcision, talking about anything related to women's rights, they would have that attention.
Negatively.
Yeah, it would be like all over it, negative, and they would be arresting these women, but these guys are allowed to do whatever they want like that.
And that's their right. I'm just saying that, like you said, I'm like, if women did it, yeah, there would be a huge uproar. If there were women dressed all in white with their crotches stained red like that, protesting abortion, it would make national news, and everybody would there'd be a good percentage of negative opinions on it.
I agree.
And they'd probably get arrested.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But yet these knuckleheads.
That's what we feel about
what the back.
you.
No, that's what the back of their pants look like.
There's a side of me that says, they have the right to protest. They really do. But you are so right, Beaveman. There is such a bigger thing to protest over, or at least stand up for. I mean, this is just, I don't get this. Even though they could probably talk to me about it, I still would say, can't you stop world hunger first?
Yeah, isn't there something more important?
A bigger pressing, like something that the world should unite on instead of that.
But again, it shows just the sheer arrogance, egotism, and it shows that I don't know how intelligent you can say that you are or profess that you are if you're protesting something like that. Because honestly, when I look at that, when he was rambling on, you know what I was thinking in my head?
What's that?
This guy's mentally scarred from childhood trauma that has nothing to do with the circumcision.
Uh-huh. He has mommy issues or issues with his own penis. That's what I said immediately. He's definitely got some issues from deep-rooted more than his penis.
Yeah, and he literally didn't listen to anything I would say. And of course, they're all diming me out saying, oh, he's a doctor. Oh, he's a doctor. I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But yet somebody kept texting that. I
feel like your medical opinion matters more than his bullshit, dumb.
I don't give one. I don't give them.
I swear, when you go to their site, you look at one of the pictures, it looks like an album cover for a punk band.
I think you.
It really does.
Well, you should
I
do a
mean,
side by side on that then.
I don't know if I could share the screen with you because I would.
I'm sure you have the capabilities. I do. Not.
I'm pretty sure I do. We'll see if I can do it.
Anyway,
Way.
that's what we had to deal with on the live stream.
I think he's probably just mad because he has ED and can't get it up. So he's blaming it on that.
I'm sure, a myriad of problems there. And again, this all goes back to it. If you're, I keep saying this because I feel like it's true. If you're 30 years old and you're still blaming, if you're 30 years old and older and you're still blaming your parents for shit, stop. Unless they really did something horrifying to you, like murdered your baby sister in front of you. Stop blaming them for everything in your life.
I mean, it's time to move on. Yeah, for sure.
And the flip side of this is also true. If you are not circumcised, there's also a point I was trying to make to him too. There's plenty of people who blame their parents for not circumcising them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always going to be the same thing. It's the same analogy Swan always uses. If you have straight hair, you want curly hair. If you have curly hair, you want straight hair. People always want what they don't got.
If you're blonde, you want brunette hair.
We got it, Swan.
Exactly.
It's the same.
Exactly.
I just
yep. I know.
gave you credit
I know,
for
but
analogy.
I always
and
like
now
to
you
give
want to
more.
do another one.
I do. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. I just like you to yell at me.
Biggest ass you've ever seen.
Exactly.
All right, can you guys see the picture?
No.
I can see if I can add it to the stream. How
There you
about
go.
that? That is disgusting.
That's so dumb.
It is
The
an
most-
album cover.
They
What
look
I
like
find-
a bunch of freaking.
It looks like
hillbillies.
they're on a community college campus, and these kids behind them are doing their best to just fucking ignore them.
I mean, that probably.
Can you
is
zoom,
what
Ron?
they are.
Can you zoom in on this kid that's going through the double doors? It looks like he might have a red mohawk.
Yeah, those dudes
n-
are freaking dumb. I wonder which one is him. I bet you one of them is him.
I do not know.
That would be- I
They're-
wanna
they're
know.
very proud of
No,
themselves.
no, I can't, unfortunately, at this time. It looks like the guy in the red shorts with the ball cap backwards.
Oh, okay. I think that's funny that he just happens to be in that shot. But look at these girls behind them. They're like just doing their best to ignore what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I see that. One of the photos, just like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah,
Whatever.
It's obscene. This guy's
Guy
weird.
with the sunglasses. They look like they should be singing like they're going to open for Slipknot or something.
No, they all look like a bunch of douchebags.
Definitely douchey. All right, we're gonna take that off there because that makes me want to vomit.
Okay.
But again, if a group of women were doing that, it would be bad.
Yep, I agree.
Well, everybody has got the right to protest about something. It doesn't mean you necessarily have to agree with it. And I certainly don't agree with this.
No.
It is, and I know that there are some people that are passionate about it. It's just, you could be passionate about something else. I mean, this is your own private hell, and I don't want to play in it.
Something way more important than your foreskin that you lost 40 years ago, and it's not even a big deal. Yeah.
And let's face it, when you're married, you lose your penis anyway.
Oh, it's your testicles.
Okay.
After a while, though, your penis starts to regress at the site and just retreats.
Yeah.
On that note,
On that note,
hey there, members of the Great Slaptail Nation. It's me, the Beaveman, and I'm here to deliver you a message from beyond the stars about our sponsor for this episode, Swiss Navy. No matter who you love or how you love, Swiss Navy products set the bar for sexual enhancement. There's more glide, more comfort, and even products for longer-lasting pleasure. Swiss Navy has a wide range of premium products to choose from for whatever amount fills your hole, if you know what I mean. My favorite product is Swiss Navy's Silicone Lube. Get it, use it, love it, and never be dry again. Once again, that's Swiss Navy at SwissNavy.com. And in your order comments, let them know the Slaptail Squad sent you. Swiss Navy, no matter who you love or how you love. Adios, mooch fuckos. If you, members of the Great Slaptail Nation, if you want to stretch out your penis skin, you can go on Amazon and get an adapter-kit. I don't really know that. Didn't he say something like the original plan for doing that was just using a socket?
something. I don't know.
What?
It's fucking weird. Just you just put it around it and stretch it or something. I don't know.
Use a socket?
Go ahead. Go on with your bad self.
Yeah. What is the goal? To be able to lift 10 to 15 pounds with your foreskin?
It's not a foreskin. It's just a stretched out penis
It's
skin.
an aft skin.
It is.
What did I call it? I called it a pseudo foreskin. And he actually had some name for
He
it.
did
I'm
have
like,
a
"You're
name for it. Yeah.
fucking moron."
You can get a surgical restoration now, like we mentioned, though, or like you mentioned, that anybody can do it. I mean,
Get it from
if you got the
Amazon.
money,
But what are they going to take that skin from? Like they're going to skin graft it from your ass? Because
no. So they transplant skin from areas with tissues like those of the penis, such as the scrotum, onto the penis shaft. So
yeah, so
there
it's
you go.
still not your foreskin. It's
Yeah, it's just going to be
other
rugated
skin.
tissue.
Exactly.
Which is totally different because that's contractile tissue, which the foreskin isn't.
See? Told you he's stupid.
Whatever.
Anyway, I think we've spent enough time on that asshole.
Here's the funny thing is that as we were Twitch streaming, before we Twitch streamed, actually, I messaged our good friend of the show, JD, and I was like, "Hey, JD, I'm going to be on my son's Twitch stream if you're interested." And he's like, "I don't know anything about Twitch." I'm like, "Okay, well," he's like, "and I'm working." I'm like, "Okay, well," I'm like, I you can always pull it up and look in the background. Just let it play in the background. That helps them get views and everything. And so lo and behold, he popped in there. And not only did he pop in there, he was in there a lot.
He's hooked.
So he was making comments. He got very excited when that guy called in because he thought I was going to let him have it. But I was also, I had to get reined in quite a few times on the Twitch stream by the boy.
You
did.
never.
Yeah. He was like trying to get me to calm down. I was like, all right, it's your stream.
I don't know. I think a little healthy, what do you want to say? Not argument, but debate is good. But he wasn't even giving you a chance. He was just talking over you.
No, I could have totally destroyed him, but I was not allowed to be me.
I know. I wish that he wouldn't have reined you in because it would have been funny.
Yeah, he reined me in more than once.
I know.
I was like, okay, all right, it's your stream, it's your show. It
Kind of makes me want to find that dude. I bet you could find him very easily.
Oh, that got better, Rons, because this guy actually thought he was calling into a legit show.
He did. Yep.
Because at the end of his call, when the boy was finally able to try to get him off the show, he was like, "Well, what's the name of this show? So I can get all of my, I've got a network of like thousands of people or whatever to watch, to see the show. Like we want a bunch of bloody crotch, whatever people
Crackpots
being on the Twitch stream." I'm like, this is not a serious show. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? But anyway, back to JD. So now JD's hooked.
Yeah, because the boy was trying to be so. He's like, yeah, I'm really interested about that. I'm like, I know,
man.
what the fuck?
Fucking asshole.
Couldn't he just say? Couldn't he cut the caller off and say next
He
caller?
could have, but he was trying to be like politically correct and nice and like let him engage. He was engaging in it in a peaceful manner, I guess.
I was ripping on him. I was ripping on him the whole fucking time.
He was letting him have his platform for a minute, and
But
it was
then he
funny.
wouldn't shut up.
It was.
You can tell that there are two different versions of the children. One, you have the daughter who will just rip into somebody, and I have nothing but respect for your family, that, but she will just, hey, how's it going, Ron? Doing fine. No, that wasn't a question I need you to answer. That was my one interaction with you. We're good. I'll see you next year, whenever. The boy, though, very nice, very polite. He will he's just like that. I think he just needs to say, fuck it and move on.
Yeah, I mean, literally, he just would not. I was sitting here like a time bomb that just wanted to go off, but he wouldn't let me.
No, because he doesn't like that conflict. So he's very passive.
So after a while, he just kept talking and talking and talking. And when he hit that pause, Rons, I hit him with the Billy Madison soundbite.
He did. And then he didn't even know what to do with that.
He laughed.
He kind of laughed, but it was like I think he was like hurt laugh.
Yeah.
He's like,
and then Skylar finally got rid of him. Thank God.
Yeah. I was like, I had enough of you.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe he's got a bunch of them as, who knows, followers now.
Maybe.
I mean, you gotta be, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. And if my kid set me up like that, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Well, good listening to the content, and maybe that's good just to have the sidekick, like you're the straight man and or he's the straight man and you're just the one that goes off. Makes for great streaming. And
Well-
maybe, he wanted this guy to call in.
Oh no, he wants callers, but but again, you can't really control what you get on a caller unless you're like me and you're like, I don't mind hanging up. My fucking show.
Yeah.
I'll hang up. And that's the difference too. I was talking with the boy about this. We've talked about it a bunch of times. Like, I have no interest in streaming. And I also think if you're good at streaming, don't podcast. They're two totally different things.
Well, because one's live and you have to be able to go on the fly and you can't edit stuff out like you can on a podcast.
Yeah, and our stuff is all like on the fly stuff, but if we say something that's totally out there, if we say something or we tell a story, we're like, in hindsight, like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't tell that story in public. I've gone back and like taken stuff out before we've ever produced it. I mean, that's the nice thing about podcasting. But you're on a live stream, you can't really do that.
Right. You have to have a very good, internal filter.
You have to decide what your character's going to be.
Yeah, I guess.
And if it's something that you're too worried about, then obviously, you probably shouldn't do it. If you're just going to be like an informative, nerdy, keep it PG, not anything, not being, always walking that fine line of balance where you don't offend anybody, then I guess you could stream. I'm just saying that for me personally, that's not something I would do.
Yeah. Some people like that raw output. It's sort of like if you listen to Coast to Coast. You ever listen to that?
No.
Art Bell, AM radio.
No.
JD probably knows what I'm talking about.
I know who it is. No, I know who it is. I've just never actually got to listen to any of it. But no, I know who it is.
And they have raw emotions on it, raw feelings and everything, but they control what's said. So if they, if something gets a little too out of hand, they can cut the collar off, and I get that. And there's a delay on that too, so I get it. I get that.
Yeah, because that's broadcast radio, whereas
like that 2-second delay where they
whereas
can,
streaming, there's no delay.
Yeah.
Just like with us, there's no delay. You can't say something and I can beep it 5 seconds, because I've got 2 to 5 seconds or whatever where I can beep it out. Like your yawns, I can't go. I got to edit that out on the back end, unfortunately.
Right about those. Oh, well, I'll try harder next year.
It is next year, Rons. You were supposed to try harder for this year, so we got to wait a whole nother year for you to try harder.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
All right. Well, I think that we have, we've pounded it pretty hard.
Sliced it a little bit. A little cut.
Gentlemen, please enjoy the afternoon's hand job.
No, thank you. Cut me real deep, like 3 inches off the foreskin. Deep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's why he's sad.
Buddy, you better settle down over there. I can come talk to you.
Do it. Come on over here.
I don't want to.
Biggest ass you've ever seen.
True.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for me then. I'd like to thank the Rons for joining us on time. For not being confused about what time
He's on Central Time. He's on Central Time.
I thought time changed after the new year because it's sort of like the foreskin, and I thought it could grow back. That time was going to change a little bit different. My mistake.
I'm mostly offended by the fact that you think that I would let it go 3.5 hours without communicating to you why I was late for our podcast.
I figured you were busy. I don't interfere with your life.
Poor excuse.
I
feel like we've never let you down like that, Ron.
Well, no. I don't hold you guys to the same thing that I do. You guys have a different schedule than I do. I'm the one that works third shift. And
oh, boy.
Yeah. And you have obligations with your family. Right? And maybe this is the one time the Swan and you were amorous, and who am I to interrupt?
Nope.
Nope.
We put it on hold for you, Rons. All
Please
for
don't.
you, buddy.
I don't need that kind of emotional guilt.
Doctor said he'd never seen a gash quite that size.
That's gross.
That is. Is that what happens when you go see a gynecologist?
You wouldn't like a little cushion for the pushing?
You're dumb.
Where is this from?
Where's what from?
These sound bites.
No, see, that's what you should never ask.
From your
Nobody came here for a finger bang.
It's from your mom, Rons. It's from your mom.
Oh.
Hi-oh.
Oh. Well, whoever you're texting this one during this entire thing, tell them we said hi.
Okay, will do.
All right. Well, any show shout outs this week, Ron?
Well, yeah. Colin, or Colin, as you said, has been listening. He likes the show. He really loves it.
Can you imagine a fist inside your gash?
I'm pretty sure he's going to get a big kick out of that. Shelby the Thumb, wherever you are in the world. Hopefully you're doing great.
Doctor said he'd never seen a gash quite that size.
Anybody else you want to shout out?
Oh, let's see.
Let's just keep it on coming.
Yeah. Tremonde, Happy New Year. I wish you were here, bud.
Oh, here's a good one for him.
It would seem she was on the receiving end of a good-sized prick.
And of course, the Beaveman for his wonderful gift to my family and me.
Ah, yeah, snacky time. Snacks.
Snacky time.
Snacky time.
Thank you,
So
I
no,
appreciate it.
so I think the question was any shows you wanted to,
What's that?
was there any shows you wanted to shout out this week?
Let's see. I saw Inside Job, which was a new
You wouldn't like a little cushion for the pushing?
and I think
Inside
JD
Job.
would like that. That's more of a conspiracy run by what if America was run by a shadow government?
Oh.
Let's see, Paradise PD, which is really bizarre if you get a chance to see that.
Yeah, we watched that. We did a podcast episode on that.
Yeah,
you
but
and I.
they've got I think season 3 and season 4 out now.
Yeah, it can be kind of disturbing.
I don't think
You
I've
can't-
ever watched any of that.
I was really impressed with the Marvel What If.
Yeah, you already talked about that one.
That was wild.
Okay, well, you don't have to keep going on and on.
Okay, as long as you don't want me to.
We
No,
don't
I mean,
want
we
you
just,
to.
when we say, do you have a show?
You can give like one
Yeah, you can just give
example.
one.
Oh, just one.
Just
Just
one.
one.
Just one.
Just
Do you
one.
have any Beaveman?
How about you, Swan?
You thought
I
you'd
don't-
close your eyes and feel a big fat wad slide across your palm?
I did
That's not gonna happen.
without a foreskin. Blech.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Did you have any?
No, the only thing that I binged watched was the entire.
What's
I
that
think it's
about?
only. Yeah, what's that about? It's called Three Pines, and it was on Amazon Prime, and I just randomly found it, and it was pretty good. So, and I watched the entire it's one season of I don't know 10
What is
episodes or
it?
something.
Is it about pine trees?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
what's
it's
it about?
about this city called Three Pines that's in Quebec that has some murders
Good
and
fishing
things
in
happen
Quebec.
out. Yeah.
Good fishing in Quebec.
It's just like
Quebec.
a
Oh, the fishing's
mystery
great in
drama.
Quebec.
Whatever.
It's
It was
Quebec.
it was good. It was good.
Good fishing in Quebec.
Yeah, that's it. A.
Well, I would like to recommend the following movie, The Woman King.
Oh yeah, that was a good
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Fucking awesome movie. If you get a chance, members of the Great Slaptail Nation, watch it. Very cool.
Yeah, it was good.
Very-
I didn't know if I was gonna like it at first, but how
Why?
you described just how you described it, I was like, I don't know. But it was actually very.
How did I describe it?
I don't know. You're. I
How did I
don't know.
describe it?
Like it was gonna be like a woman army movie. Like I don't know. Just I didn't. It
You got a
was
problem with women in the...
no,
strong
but
women?
I just didn't think it was gonna be like something that I would want to watch. It would seem like
I don't have a problem with strong women.
no.
Would you believe I love eating ass? I would eat ass all day, every day if I could.
Having it a side of ass.
You wouldn't like a
No.
little cushion for the pushing?
You're dumb.
Great movie. All right, well, that's it for me, the Beaveman.
I don't think they would want that as a representation of their.
They might. You don't know.
You don't know.
How do
You
you
don't know
know?
who they are. You don't know. They might be from
you know?
Canada or Quebec.
They might
Good
be.
fishing in Quebec.
Anyway.
Oh, the fishing's great in
Anyway.
Quebec. Fishing's great in Quebec. All right, anyway.
Anyway.
Adios, much fuckos.
Bye. From this one.
And from the Ron, stay sane. It's gonna get crazy, motherfuckers.
Why?
It's probably already crazy.
Why is it gonna get
Yeah,
crazy?
It's
probably.
gonna get crazy because people are gonna start
Wearing all white and
stealing
having blood,
foreskins.
wearing all white and having freaking blood-stained crotches running around. Is that why?
Yeah, we're gonna all be stretching our foreskins.
Buddy, you better settle down over there. I can come talk to you.
Yeah, come and do it. Come and do it.